Hey, how you doing? This is Through the Week, and I'm Pastor Terry, the pastor of First Baptist Church in Plano, Illinois, and I'm really glad to see you here. We're going to talk about split personalities today. You know, yours and mine and everybody else's. The kind of thing that we do when well, let's just get into it and see, okay? The thought of erasing one's identity and fitting in with the crowd is definitely scary. Action is a different matter, though. We act all the time to fit in. Owie, we act all the time to fit in. And we do, don't we? We do. We act all the time to just cause people to like us. It's been brought to my attention here recently that one of the things we struggle with the most is just to have someone appreciate who we really are. And that's kind of tough to do if you're constantly changing who you really are so that you can fit in with others. You know, that's a pretty common, it's just one of those things that happens all the time. You do it, I do it, and then we turn around and go, man, why did I say that? Or why did I act like that? Ah, what a dummy, man. And then after a while, you get to know somebody and you find out they would have liked you anyways. They would have thought well of you anyways. Here's something that James tells us. Everything they do, everything you and I do is unstable if we're one of those people that is constantly divided in our loyalties. And I'm going to talk about this as far as an individual first. How often are we undivided in our loyalty to ourselves? You know what that's called, don't you? It's called integrity. Being divided in your loyalty to yourself is being a person who doesn't have any integrity. Because integrity basically, fundamentally, inherently emanates from who you really are. And if you're always a poser, if you're always out there acting like whatever you need to act like, just so you can get a compliment, attaboy, then you have no integrity. But life is all about integrity. When I was young and floating around, if most of you know that I used to be a musician and I played in bars and stuff like that. And so one of the big things was to not be a game player, playing those games. But we all played them. And we say, oh man, I don't play no games. I'm for real. Really? We all played those games. And we were stuck in them. We played them so often we didn't know we were playing them. As a matter of fact, we were being tossed about, just like what James was talking about, to and fro. And that wave was the wave of public opinion. We were being tossed to and fro by the need to be right in the public. Now, today we call it being PC. And we'll talk about being PC later. I got a really good one for you there. But that being tossed to and fro, it just doesn't make any sense. Because eventually you'll get tossed to and fro so much that you won't find yourself back to land. You won't realize who you are anymore. If you're constantly looking to get someone else to love you by manipulating them, it doesn't work that way. Being ingenuous is not the way to garner friendships and relationships. Be who you are. Be that person. Now I want to kind of shift over to how this relates to God. One of the big things that is being touted right now is that all humanity is made in the image of God. Well, I'm not going to get into what that image is. However, suffice it to say that we are all created by God. And I believe, and I think this saying really holds true, is God don't make no junk. I'm not junk, you're not junk. God don't make no junk. And you and me are made in the image of God. Well, what if we don't like that image? What if we look in the mirror and we say, I wish I were X? You read about it in the papers all the time, people getting plastic surgery so they can look like other people, celebrities or whatever. There's this one gal who keeps getting surgery after surgery after surgery so she can look like a Barbie doll. Oh well. But I'm not talking about looks. What I'm talking about is what is inside you. Do you have integrity? Are you a person whose word is true? Would you rather chase headlong into problems as long as it led to truth? Or would you rather walk all the way around chasing after something that is more accommodating? James says you can't be divided between God and the world. You got to make a choice. And I'm thinking that you got to make a choice too with yourself. Will you like yourself? Will you love yourself? Will you appreciate who you are? I know when I was younger, I really didn't. I thought I was the dumbest thing on the planet. As a matter of fact, my nickname was Dummy. So it hurt me. There were years and years and years I did dumb and stupid things. But I'm not doing them anymore. And I've discovered a wonderful truth. And that is, I'm all that I am. And that's all that I am. And I have to credit that to Popeye. Pretty wise guy. I am what I am. So let's not be like that fella that James talks about later in that same chapter, where he says you're like an individual who looks in the mirror and then upon turning away you forget immediately what you look like. Let's not be like that. As a matter of fact, let's be that individual who sees life in a panoramic view based upon the holiness of God and the integrity with which He has taught us to walk through the Scriptures. Man, what a life that would be. If everyone were to do that, we wouldn't see quite as much depression. We wouldn't see quite as much drop off in our divorce rate. We wouldn't see so many children abused by the kinds of thinking that teaches them to chase after materialistic things, knowing full well that they'll never achieve. It's like that old Henry Ford saying. You know, reporter asked him, "Mr. Ford, when will you have enough money?" Ford replied, $1 more. It never ends, folks. You can't manufacture truth. Truth is, be a truthful person. And I got a feeling you'll be a happy one. Well, that's all for me. I'm out of here. Bye.